I'm going to show you how to make guacamole. Today's serving size will be for 4 to 5 people, so let's start with the ingredients. You're going to need about 3 avocados, half a red onion, 2 tomatoes, about 3 tablespoons of freshly chopped cilantro, 1 lemon or lime, up to you. And then I use requesón, but it's preferable to use queso fresco, as well as a pinch of pepper, and then about a tablespoon of salt, or teaspoon, sorry. Now chopping. So first, with the tomatoes, I'm awful at cutting first of all, but you kind of just want to make it tiny cubes. So I kind of did slices first, and then I went in going almost cross hatching, where I go one side and then the other to make these nice little cubes. And then you want to go in with your lemon, just kind of cut it in half and then save that for later. And now avocado. So I like to start at the base of my avocados and just kind of go round so that I can open it nicely. And then this part's kind of dangerous, but you want to just kind of keep hitting the pit with your knife until you get a nice little twist and the pit is out. And just like the tomatoes, I like doing almost like the cross hatching, where you go one side and then the other to get these nice little cubes. It helps out when you're mixing everything, although if I'm completely honest, it's not that necessary since you're gonna kind of just mash everything together. So even if you just cut it up like I am here and just do one side, that's also fine. So now I'm just putting it into a container to save it for later, so I don't have to take it out later. And now cutting the onions. There's probably a way better way of going through this that's more efficient, but I like cutting my onions kind of into small slices. And then since I already cut one way, I just cut this side, as you can see here, because it's just kind of important to get small little pieces of everything. So now I'm going in with the cilantro, and I like to take this one slow as well. It's a big surprise. But just kind of pull the leaves off so there's not attached to the stems, and I do that for a while. But again, you want just small little slices because you kind of just want the flavor of it. So I just kind of take my knife and just cut it really finely, and then I might go back and do it again just to make sure it's all cut. And now it's mixing. So you want to just kind of take everything and put it in a bowl, although I always like to start with my avocado. So just put that in the middle, and then this is when you're going to need your queso fresco, although I only have requesón right now. So I put that in, and then I just cut so that most of the things are in. And I forgot the cilantro, so I'm just gonna add that in real quick. So now I'm mixing. You just kind of mix it until it's the consistency you want. Like for me, I really like it nice and mashy, so it's spreadable. And I tasted it and I forgot that I added like lemon and stuff. So you just kind of want to add that in and as you go along, you want to make sure you're tasting it here and there, which it's important because even though you do have like the ingredients and how much, you just kind of want to add to your preference. So I go ahead and add some salt, mix it up because I like mixing after every single step just to make sure it's all mixed in nice. And then I go in with the pepper and do the same. And like I said, I tried it and needed more salt. Basically, ended up using it for my dinner, which was carne asada, and it was really great. So I think you guys should try out making this guacamole.
What is your name?
My name is Mr. Orr.
What you do in the high school?
So at Lee High School, I am a teacher for EL students, and I'm also responsible for monitoring and supporting the EL students.
¿Cuál es el mayor problema que usted cree que enfrentan los estudiantes latinos?
Buena pregunta. Para mí, opino que en algunos casos, ¿usted prefiere que yo responda en inglés o en español?
En español.
Ok. En algunas veces, los alumnos no entienden lo que es posible con una buena educación. Y por eso le falta a veces la motivación para continuar con sus estudios y dar los esfuerzos necesarios porque realmente no entienden lo que ofrece una buena educación.
¿Usted ayuda a alumnos que hablan español
Claro que sí.
y se siente cómodo con ayudarlos?
Generalmente sí. Hay veces en que yo siento que yo no estoy capaz de ofrecerle todo el apoyo que necesitan, pero en la mayoría de los casos sí me siento cómodo.
¿Y qué es lo que más aprecia sobre la cultura hispana?
Buena pregunta, hay mucho, sí. La variedad entre ¿cuál es la cultura latina? ¿Sí? Para los que vienen de México o de Argentina o de España, hay tanta variedad entre estos ejemplos de la cultura mexicana o hispana. Y también la comida me gusta mucho, la música y ¿cómo decirlo? La manera de que generalmente todos los alumnos hispanos se entienden entre ellos, son muy cómodos los unos con los otros. En general no hay problemas, se entienden muy bien. Y me gusta mucho esto.
Entonces eso sería todo. Muchas gracias por participar.
Sí.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es María Castañeda. Trabajo para la escuela Lee y mi trabajo es ayudar a los jóvenes a traducir la información que el maestro está dando en la clase. Soy un bilingüe, Teacher A. Y una de las cosas que disfruto mucho de la cultura hispana es la música, el arte, la comida, el baile, especialmente folclórico. Disfruto mucho de eso, me gusta. Y también en cuanto a la comida, pues mi platillo favorito es las enchiladas. Y puesto que soy de Michoacán, me encanta la morisqueta tradicional, que es un platillo que se prepara con arroz blanco, frijoles y también se le pone carne con chile o con queso. Creo que uno de los problemas a los que se enfrentan hoy los jóvenes, ya sea que hayan nacido aquí hispanos y yendo a la escuela, tienen muchas distracciones que les quitan su enfoque en lo que deberían estar haciendo, que es estudiar, y especialmente los jóvenes extranjeros que vienen ya de una edad entre los 11, 16, 17 años. Se les hace muy difícil además el aprender el idioma, pues también se enfrentan a que tienen muchas distracciones.
Hi guys, my name is America Frias. I'm a junior at Lee High School and I identify myself as a girl. My favorite thing about being Hispanic and Latina is just the culture that I have in the Mexican culture. I love how I can speak Spanish and how awesome my whole family is. I really love how I'm super family oriented, and I know a lot of other Hispanics are super family oriented. I love all the colors in our culture and all the food, the music, everything about it. A misconception that I feel like typically people have, and something that I might not like about the Mexican culture, just like Hispanic culture in general, is the fact that at times, especially women, we fall under the thing that some things that we've been told since we were young by like older women and men, that the women in our households are less superior, inferior to the men. And I feel like our generation can really break that barrier and we can show everyone that everyone's equal. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Caitlin Juliet Silva Rivas. For those who are Latinos, I like to be called Juliet. I'm in grade 11, a junior at Lee High School. I love to draw. I love to play instruments. I love sports. I like working out a lot, skateboarding, roller skating, painting. As you can see, I have drawings in the back. I'm not really sure what this question was asking, but I identify myself as a friendly person. I like to be very friendly, and I'm a very understanding person, because I like making people feel like they fit in by showing who they really are. What I like best about being Hispanic and Latino is probably how hardworking we are, how determined we are. I've noticed family is like the first person you go to. Like, they will always be there. Friends, they come and go, most of them. Some of them stick till the end, but family is very almost important. I love the food too, including the food. Spiciness, I love every type of food that's spicy. I think one of the biggest hardships that we have as being Hispanic or Latino is that most of the time we get looked down on. I actually have an experience in that. When I was in elementary school, one time I was speaking in Spanish, and this guy, he got mad at me for speaking Spanish, because this is America, this is where you speak English, not Spanish, and if you want to speak Spanish, go back to where you came from, which is Mexico, and don't try to cross the border again. And that really truly had hurt me. So I think this club will make everyone feel like they fit in here.
Hi there, my name is Yanita Estrada. I am a freshman at Lee. I would say that I have interests here and there. I like gaming, everything really having to do with nails, organization, fitness, music, just like a little bit of everything really. But then I would also say that I am Latina, and I think that so many great things come out of that, because the culture itself is just really cool, with a amazing background, and as well as just the music and the food being so amazing and delicious. But I think that there are also many misconceptions that come with it, where it's an example of which would probably be like how we're believed to be working harder, not smarter, which I don't believe is the case. Although we are hard workers, I think that you can work hard and smart at the same time.
My name is Chris Papp. I'm in 10th grade. My interests are varied from here and there. I identify as a guy, and my favorite thing about like being Latino is being able to try all the foods, which are very delicious. And I also like how there's a bunch of music and dancing at like parties and stuff. It's always so loud and gives it a happy feeling. And I guess a misconception that I get is that whenever a friend like hears me speak Spanish, they're like, "Oh, you must be Mexican, right?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "So you speak Spanish, but you're not Mexican?" And I'm like, "Yes," and they're like, "I don't understand what's going on right now." And then that's when I tell them there are other countries besides Mexico that speak Spanish. Yeah.
My name is Leah Reyes. I'm a 10th grader here at Lee High School. Some of my interests are basically all sports. I really enjoy running. I enjoy playing basketball, which I've been doing for 4 years. Um, when I was little, I did softball and then baseball, and I didn't really care for either of them. But I mean, I enjoyed playing with the team. Um, I also ride horses competitively, which I've been doing for 9, almost 10 years. I've been doing it since I was 6 years old. And that's definitely the main thing that I enjoy doing. I identify myself as a Latina, and I also identify myself as a Latina and white girl because my dad's Mexican, and my mom's white. So I'm both. That's where I get the green eyes from my mom and the brown hair from my dad. Um, and I really appreciate, I think, the music and the dances from Hispanic culture because I think that they're very interesting. Um, and I think that I just love salsa. Like, I love watching it. I love watching people dance to reggaeton. I think it's just really fun and upbeat and it lets people have a good time because the music is always just so fun. The sounds are always just so fun. And I think that the reggaeton singers are just really funny and interesting, and they're unique. And with salsa, I feel like it's just like a really connecting piece to dance to or even listen to. It's always just really sweet music, and it's just fun to like feel the rhythm and all that. And I really enjoy that. And I think there's some stereotypes personally that I've encountered are definitely like for me because I look like a white girl. Um, they people see me and they're like when they hear me speaking Spanish and they're like fluently and they're like, oh wait, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, I'm half Mexican, and they never believe me. I stopped caring a long time ago, but like it's kind of just something that always happens to me. It's happened to me since I was really little, and because I've grown up speaking Spanish my entire life, Spanish and English. Um, and in my house, we speak both, and I generally speak Spanish with my dad and English with my mom. And when I go to Mexico, which is kind of a yearly tradition, it's all Spanish because they don't know English. And they always see me and they call me güera, which means like light skinned because compared to them, I'm very light skinned. And they consider me as a blonde because I have blonde highlights. So um, that's definitely like a misconception. People don't always believe me when I say that I'm Hispanic, which I don't really mind so much. But I know that there's other things like, oh, Hispanics aren't good at school or they all work at McDonald's, which is not true, but I don't encounter that as much. I mean, my dad worked at McDonald's when he first came to America. That's fine. It's not a bad thing. Um, but personally, I encounter people just saying, oh, you don't look a certain way, so you're not Hispanic, you're not Mexican. There's no way. But those are the main things. That's the main thing that I encounter. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for listening.
My name is Giovanni Alaman, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. One thing that I find interesting is electrical components, which I am studying right now at San Francisco State University. What I feel like is the best thing about being Hispanic / Latino is definitely the food, especially the ones at parties because they be hitting different. In my opinion, the biggest hardship about being Hispanic / Latino is definitely how you walk into a room and you feel like everyone's threatened by you, or you feel like no one thinks you're gonna work as hard as others. Sí, yo hablo español. Mi papá es de Acapulco, Guerrero, y mi mamá es de Jalisco.
My name is Jimin Shen. I'm sophomore in Lee High School. I think Hispanic is also the part of many races in the world. I don't have any Hispanic friends, but I hope to make Hispanic friends and about Hispanic culture. I love their unique and special cultures. Thank you.